Good morning and welcome to the webinar by Net Dispatcher. My name is Kimo Turner and we'll be talking this morning about reporting and some of the phenomenal reporting capabilities that are built into our system and how to leverage those to really impact your business by making your numbers evident and easy to get to, easy to see, easy to react to, and easy to explore. So today, as we go through this, we'll actually be going to some actual reports and running those and talking through some aspects of that. One of the things that's really important and clear about this exercise that we're going through is that Net Dispatcher has brought together the technologies and the skills and the knowledge that we've learned from people in the HVAC industry, landscaping, in commercial building maintenance, and so on. And we've learned important in your businesses. We've listened and we've built those things into our software. And what we're able to bring back to the marketplace then is a system that is really designed on the technologies that are out there for large enterprise type applications. They're the toys that the big boys are playing with. And we're able to take those investments of upwards of $100,000 on some of the technologies and incorporate that and build our systems around it, and then distribute that back out to small and medium-sized companies. So you've really got the best technologies available at a price that is a whole different price point. So you're not having to spend the kind of money that the enterprise solution folks are having to spend. One of the things then that makes this powerful, in addition to the reporting technologies, is the fact that we're built on templates. So the templates at the front end allow us to design and set up the forms and the workflows and so on in ways then that will support the gathering of data that you need for your business to operate. And that will be part of the flow, so that when you go through your exercise, when you go through your workflows each day as you're doing your work, you're gathering the data you need for some great reporting where you can really get to the key performance indicators. And there's not a lot of extra work to go out and gather that information because you've gathered that right up front. Having the templates allows you to customize that to your business, and so you get the look and feel that your folks are used to or want or need, and we can support the workflows, and on the back end you get this exceptional reporting. Without any delay then, let's jump right into reporting. If you already have an account, whether it's a trial account or an account that is in full swing already, you'll recognize this as the welcome page once I've signed in. And we're going to go right to reporting right here. And there's a number of different things we're going to see on the reporting tab here as we start out today. The first thing we're going to look at is a report that is the equipment test. Oh, we are not seeing screen. My apologies, folks. Thank you. Okay, I believe we've got the screen live now. So just backing up 1 second here, then the reporting tab at the top on the right-hand side. And then we're going to take a look at several different reports that are set up out here and talk through the implications of those reports. And we want to talk about reports in general. We want to talk about ad hoc reporting, and we want to talk about dashboards. And so we'll cover each of those today and look at a few different examples here as we start out. The first one is quick equipment. And in this case, I'm going to put in an ID so that it knows what to look at. Apply. And this is a simple proposal report. And you can see it's basically, again, set up with forms up front. You're gathering the pricing as you're putting your proposal together. And then as you process the proposal, then it can generate it to whatever degree of complexity you want it to be. In this case, it's a singular event. In other cases, it could be for a contract. And obviously for a ongoing maintenance contract of some type, there'd be much more complexity and data and values that have to be carried forward from that point. So this is one quick report. A second that we'll go to is a weekly time card. And a couple of these you'll see later in the dashboard as we talk about them also. We often get questions about whether we can support workforce management, time recording, and those types of things. And so this is just an example that suggests and indicates one of the reports that you could generate to show the time recording that's taking place as part of this instance. Basically, there's the ability on your mobile devices for each tech to start and stop jobs and to record jobs or record time to those individual jobs each day. But as you all know, that's not all the time they're doing. There's administrative time, there's drive time, there's lots of things that aren't a specific job. And so the approach you might want to take in those instances is that they log in and out for their shift, and then they start and stop jobs. And so it records the time against the jobs as well as the overall time. If you're looking close enough to see the numbers here, don't be worried that this person is working a minuscule amount of time each day and so on. This is not live data. This is data that was plugged into a trial account in order to be able to demo it without having people's personal information here and exposed and so on. So basically in this instance, then we're showing each technician and what jobs they were working on and various times of the day. And you've got inspections, HVAC repairs, another with inspections, and the individuals out here on the side. We're going to go next to an invoice list report. One of the things that's really helpful anytime you're looking at numbers is to have the ability to interact with those numbers and to look at them in different ways to see what the information is telling you in the format perhaps that you typically see it, but then to explore things and start to think about it in different ways. This is an example of an ad hoc report. And you can see these column headings right up here are where I've dragged things from the left column over here into this column and it creates the headings across the top of the report. Again, with this data that we've put in specifically in order to be able to generate reports, as I glance at this, it's really easy to see in this instance that I've got 3 things here for Charlie's Tuna and 1 for Marshall's. But if you picture your typical reports might have hundreds of customer names on there, whether it's for a day or a week. And the last thing you want to have to do with reports when you're dealing with key performance indicators, you don't want to have to read every line and digest the information that's there. You want to find ways to have graphic representations of the information so that you can literally glance at a report and interpret whether you need to pay any more attention to it or whether you can move on to the next thing today. And so when we talk about the dashboards here in a few minutes, that's certainly one aspect of it that we'll be talking about. In this case, where we're talking about it as a standalone ad hoc job, there's some real basic things you can do. As an example, if this were a longer list, you might say, you know what, I don't care about the message displayed on the invoice. That's unimportant as it relates to what I'm trying to do here. So you just drop it off. And then you can say, boy, it'd sure be helpful to be able to group things. So I'm going to group by customer name. And now all of a sudden, again, at a glance, I get a different view. I see here that, man, we did 3 different things for Charlie's Tuna. And that might be really good. You might be expanding your work with that particular customer, and that could be a good thing. Or, you know, maybe it's callbacks, and maybe we didn't do it right the first time. And so depending on what the picture is that you're looking at, you'll learn very quickly what questions to ask, and then how to use this report to very simply look and see if you've got an issue, or see if everything looks great, and you just keep moving on. I'm going to step back out. This next one is a report. It's on revenue. And so as we see here, I'm going to select a date range and end date, customers and sites and so on, apply. Doesn't get much easier than that, does it? So as I get this report, these are, again, reports. Some of these you may see specific value in the actual report that you're seeing today. In other cases, you might not see that thing as being important, but I'm sure you can imagine the things in your business that really are your key performance indicators, and how you might use these tools then to represent that work. In this case, we're basically taking information that's part of the workflow process as we bring in jobs and we assign them to technicians and complete the jobs and invoice them and so on. You're getting into the dates, the number, who the customer is, and these look strangely familiar. They're some of the folks that were on that last report we looked at. And then as you get over here to net value, you're seeing the net value, and then the VAT, and then the total. And so right over here in the right-hand column, you've got your profit for each individual line as you're doing the work. It's not something that you have to wait and pull together, you know, someday when you have time to try to figure it out. It's something you can see every day at whatever time you want to see it. And you can even automate the generation of the report. And so it's emailed to you or emailed to others in your organization. And it lets you start acting on the information as opposed to spending a lot of time doing the work to develop the information. One of the things you might care about every day is you might care about what is my percentage here. So if I've got gross dollars of $20,000 and I've got profit of $2,000, what is that percentage? And is that a percentage that I can draw some parameters around so that every day that's going to show up on my dashboard and I can see that number every day, but I'm not going to worry about that number every day. I'm only going to worry about that number if it moves outside of the parameters that are normal or that are expected and so on. So you might find that those parameters that you get flagged because your profit margins all of a sudden you're not making that $12.54. You're actually coming up short. When you get into a picture like that, that's really important to do. If that's something where materials went up, but your charge to the customer didn't, that could be a painful exercise, right? This will draw attention to those kinds of things very quickly. The other side of that is the upside, right? If all of a sudden your profit is bigger than expected, boy, it'd be nice to recognize that and to be able to drill into it and figure out why that happened and how you can leverage that across other lines, whether it's other service lines or you're experiencing it on the residential side, but not on the commercial side. You get all the detail you need here to be able to explore and figure those things out. Let's back out now. This next report we're going to look at is a dashboard report, and it's set up not with things that necessarily are key performance indicators for me and my business or necessarily will be for you, but to demonstrate what it can look like and the concept of what you want to have in a dashboard. With a dashboard, there are several things that you can do. Basically, you can take individual reports that you're using and you can lay them out on the dashboard template so that you see the same thing every day in the same position, and you don't have to do any work to get there. You just click the button and it's right there in front of you. I think last week we talked about an instance where if you're HVAC or landscaping contractor, maybe you care about the weather. And in this case, what we've done is on the right-hand side of this report, we've taken data that's data in our system based on the work that we're doing, right? So we talked about the time card element earlier. And so we've got that up here at the top. We talked about this other thing with the customers, and here's Charlie's Tuna over here 3 times and so on. So that's back in here as an invoice list, just as an example here. And we've gone out in this case and connected to the National Weather Service. And so that is actively on our page. We don't have to go out and reconnect it every day or anything else. It's something that's going to come up. And then you can start to make choices within this for what views you want to see. And if the site has, which it does, if it has historical data, you can get to historical data. You may ultimately want to tie to some tables that they may have on the site that give you historical rainfalls Um, Not so you necessarily know that on this day next year it's going to rain again. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But if you want to get into the ability to study what's impacting your business, and you think rainfall or high heat and humidity or things like that might be impacting, then seeing that historical data and being able to overlay that with your time card reports or the jobs that you're selling could all have a real impact for you. I think as we begin to wrap up here, um, the thing that's important to understand is this is a really heavy duty, strong reporting package that's part of our tool set that you gain access to as you use NetDispatcher. And I will go back to the homepage for reporting here. As you start leveraging the software, you'll find a couple different things. As part of your implementation, there are reports and dashboards and so on that we can work with you to design those reports, to design your forms in such a way that the data will be collected and reportable the way that you'll want to use that data. And so we can help you get those kinds of things set up in the implementation process. There's also the ability to get reports, maybe 3 months down the road. You say, man, I wish I had thought to do such and such. Well, it's never too late. You can absolutely take advantage of building additional reports anywhere along the road. If you are coming to us for building those reports, where some of the report building is part of the implementation process and cost, there are other things that could be additional cost, but we will always make that clear right up front so you don't have any question about whether a particular report or additional reports have additional cost impacts. The other thing is that in all these cases, there are great tools that are built right into the system here. So you'll see, like with dashboards here, we've got view tutorial right here. So you can go right to that link and you can see, look at that, dashboard videos. So right there, you've got the things that you care about and need to know in order to do it yourself. And then you can go in and go to the point where you're creating things. And it's, in many cases, once you're familiar with it, there's a lot of reporting that you'll do on an ongoing basis because you understand it, you know what you want to accomplish, and there's an awful lot of things that you won't need additional help on. I think as we wrap this up today, it's important again to emphasize the strength of these tools, to emphasize the work that I'm sure a lot of you have done, either because you know to do it in your business, or perhaps you work with a business coach, or you have a group of like-minded business owners, and you're challenging each other and pushing ahead and growing your businesses. And so we want to support those efforts. We want to provide the tools that you need and to make them easy to use and to bring them in at a price point that isn't going to break the bank. It's not what you have to pay to get these tools if you're coming in as an individual company, and it is something that you as a small business can afford. It's also really exciting to see things, not only being able to track the improvements in your numbers as you operate your business, but specifically to be able to see new opportunities for revenue. There are things, if you know what equipment one of your customers has because you installed that equipment, or you do a construction landscaping project, and now you know they've got waterfalls, they've got stone walls and different things. Gives you a perfect opportunity then, of course, to expand your services to that customer, and to be the one that's watering those trees and caring for them as they take root and start to grow. And you've got all the information. It's easy. You can generate reports. You can generate agreements so that you're going to do quarterly and weekly work and so on. And all of that is something that's very organized, very systematic, and very easy to guide yourself through, or to leverage training from that dispatcher or others that are in the system. I really thank you for joining us for this webinar, and hope this information will be something that is meaningful to you if you've already got an account. If you're considering getting an account, I'll take just the last 2 minutes of time that we have here and just give you a quick walkthrough. Basically, in this instance, we have leads right up here at the top. And with leads, you can start right at the beginning with the sales process, CRM, and reaching out to potential customers. You can generate estimates. Those estimates, once accepted, can turn into jobs. Those jobs, if they're like quarterly agreements or annual agreements with quarterly and weekly work, you can have it process that and literally set up all of that contracted work across the full term of the agreement. So you don't have to do any manual entry of those things, and it slots it out there and lets you plan accordingly. Then if you have a failure at a company and they call you in, you can bundle that with something that you've got to do next week for them on their maintenance contract and make one trip out there. You can generate invoicing and then the reporting that we were talking about. Thank you so much for joining us today. We enjoy working with you. We learn from you, and we try to turn that knowledge back around into something that you can leverage in your business every day. Vesa is the founder and CEO of the company, and I've often heard him say, you might be buying a software, but what you're getting is a revenue generating engine. And that's definitely the case. Thank you. Have a great week.